Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amused Jester. My name is Junior. Let's take a look at Hasbro's Cobra G.I. Joe Classified Series, Chip Raptor Talon, and General Ledger. General Ledger would be the Hawk, or Falcon, I should say. Um, so yeah, I remember this was one of the very few G.I. Joe toys I had, and it was so lame with that cape or fabric wingspan. I'm so glad they updated the design of this guy, and I went ahead and opened up the omnibus that I got to look and see how closely they managed to get it to the original design. And guess what? Obviously, they didn't have anything that connects this close to the original design, except for maybe the eyepiece and the headpiece over there. But there's the artwork on the design. Here's the actual toy itself with some Cobra pods. I forgot. Oh my gosh, my brain is just melted. Disappointing that now they don't even have any bios whatsoever that I can see. So I'm assuming that if you scan this code, it will give you all the specs that you're probably going to need. But let me read off what's being written down. The original figure was released in 1987. Codename Raptor, Cobra Falconer, file name unknown. Raptor was a yuppie tax consultant who took up falconry as a pastime and soon became obsessed with the avian blood sport. He discovered that by breeding bigger and stronger birds and equipping them with steel-tipped talons, they were capable of attacking much more profitable game. Caught poaching on a Cobra mink ranch by Destro, Raptor joined the ranks of the Cobra Legions and began work on developing a bird of prey strong enough to attack G.I. Joe. And as a small quotation by somebody, Raptor doesn't have any delusions about what he is, even if he dresses up in that bird suit of his and spends most of its time in a giant bird cage. Weird. Those are means to an end, and the bottom line for Raptor is his non-taxable profit margin. Yeah, so there you go. So let's go ahead and open up Mr. Raptor and General Ledger and see what's going on. And so here he is out of packaging. He comes with a large wing, the headdress, a knife over here, two of the claws, a gun, and General Ledger himself. Let me go ahead and do a close-up and we'll look at them much more in detail. Starting off with these talons. You know what these talons reminds me of? The old was it Toy Biz Wolverine, where you slip on the claws on his hands. And that's why I kind of thought this was, wow, what a hokey thing. But you know what, now that I think about it, it's actually pretty cool. Nice design and everything. It's bare plastic. Now here are the two weapons that he has, a gun and a knife. But let me tell you, very limited paint work. But what a change though, what a difference, because I just reviewed the Star Wars Captain Enoch and the Night Trooper, and their guns, well, the Night Trooper's gun anyway, is just bare plastic. What a difference a paint application does that gives us a little bit of joy, you know. Even from the earlier Joes, they never had, it was just bare plastic, so I'm glad that they put that in here. So here's Captain Ledger, or General Ledger, I can't remember. So this Falcon has a hood on his head, so I guess that's kind of cool. I think I would have been happier if the head was uncovered. I don't know why. Yeah, it's covered. Maybe if a falcon is at rest, it's usually covered, and they only release the hood when they're about to hunt. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything about falconeering, but it's got good enough detail. You can even see individual feathers over here, so that's kind of cool. I suppose one of the things that I would definitely look at is this hood that he has. Very striking. Look at that. Even the eyes. Yeah, I mean, and then there's the front. So This is like a no joke. I mean, like the original Raptor was kind of like a joke, the way it's designed. But this, look at this head. It's just very, very fierce and striking. Since we're having a close-up, might as well look at the head for Raptor. What is that? Some sort of silver highlight on the brow. Definitely nice eyes. I just did a review of Rogue, and one of the things I commented was the eye application, the eyes in the paint apps, and you can see really well that the Joes have definitely taken that technology. It's kind of hard to see, but there is paint on those lips as well. He does carry over the talisman that he had originally, but it's a lot smaller, and it's kind of integrated into this, which is kind of scary because I feel like it's so thin. I feel like that's gonna snap, but still, what a nice detail sculpting on this vest. He's got some tattoos over here. Here's a little bit more detailed look on the hands. Wow, definitely a much improved figure from what it was before. These gauntlets is a carryover from the original design of the toy. Did they twist? It does twist at the this bracelet does twist, and there's the holster over here. And we'll take this chance to put his gun in. So he does have tattoos over here. Is the back, and this is the with a knife, so we might as well take advantage of that. So that's cool. And there's the legs. Oh, and then I forgot to talk about the belt buckle. Really nice detail on that too. So Raptor, and I'm assuming the rest of the Joes, are standing at 6.5, definitely taller than the usual Star Wars, which is kind of a shame. And I could never understand why. It's the same freaking company. I know it's different IP, but Star Wars is 6 inches and this is 6.5. I just wish they had just basically made the whole thing even out. That way they can share. But that's one of the reasons why my Marvel, my Star Wars, my cinematic figures are separate from my Marvel Legends, because they just look too small. So here's the wing mechanism that he has. It's actually got a metal joint over here. Very impressive, the amount of movement that this thing allows. It feels kind of flimsy because it's really thin plastic, but I don't know if you really need it to be much more thicker. All that matters is that these joints over here would be strong enough, and that's basically, you can see that the movement up and down here, a hinge here, and up and down there. So a lot of possible combinations if you want to. And it's a plug-in. You just plug it into Raptor over here. Thankfully, it's a long peg, because I feel like this would definitely fall off easily. It's heavy, it's big, but it's holding pretty well there. And with this on the figure, you will probably see that this whole thing now extends past beyond the camera itself. And we'll put on the headdress as well. So I would say what kind of is disappointing is the headdress. I suppose because it's longer here on the neck, it's not sitting very well on the head. And there's nothing to plug it into the head. It's all nice and clean because they wanted to keep the sculpture intact. And as you can see, even with the long peg, this thing is just like really gonna come out easily. Unfortunately, that's the case. There's just really no way they could have made this any more sturdier. Like, push it in as much as you can. That seems to hold better, but obviously if you have it on, it's gonna be very, very cumbersome. And because of the thin plastic, I'm gonna say this does look really fake. But I'm okay. I'm okay with thin plastic. So let me remove the backpack for now. So going back to the headdress, I think what they could have done was just maybe make this a little bit shorter. So, but I mean, even with that, there's just nothing to grip on. So it's just basically just like that. It looks cool, but obviously it's very loose. So that's kind of disappointing. I don't know what the solution for that would have been. And then this one, General Ledger, it does have a hole here on the gauntlet. So General Ledger can sit securely on his arm. Okay. The usual articulation for the Joes, double jointed on the elbows, no pins. There's another hole here for this side of the arm if you want to. The hands go up and down. He only has these hands that he's holding. It's a gun holding hand, which is I suppose this is how you would put it on his hands. Okay, so once it's in there, it snugs in pretty nice. Unfortunately, this is really awkward because you need to lift his hands to properly display the eagle or the falcon. I wish there was another peg here. I know it would have been unsightly, but it needs it here in the shoulder, because obviously, what's more important? Do you want the falcon, or yeah, you want the falcon being displayed, or do you want? See, I would rather have him displayed like this, and because the only way to hook the falcon on him is to have his hand outstretched. You can't have him. And you can't have the falcon like that. That's kind of dumb, right? So you need to have him like this. And that's kind of awkward. There's no other pegs on the jetpack itself. So this is something that would basically just stay over there, which is kind of weird. He's supposed to be a falconer, falconeer. And I'll probably just put that in the bag somewhere because he doesn't have, there's no way to display him. Unlike with Shipwreck, at least with Shipwreck you can put, maybe I'll make a hole in here somewhere so I can plug that falcon on. So yeah, and then of course all my winged figures, because they take so much space, they don't really get a chance to be displayed. But I might display this one. I'm kind of rearranging my Joes and Cobra display, and I think I have a room for this guy. But definitely, if I'm going to display him, it's going to be like this. Even when he's flying, what would the falcon do? Like just be on his shoulder? That doesn't make sense. So unfortunately, this is an accessory that's probably going to go in a small big bag. But yeah, usual articulation for the Joes. It does have a drop down. Oh, come on again. Drop down on the hip thigh, so he can kick up almost 90. Yeah, right there. So I'll give him 90 over there. Double jointed on the knee, so that will take everything. There is a twist on the boots, as you can see, so that's kind of cool. Articulation on the ankle. I kind of feel like that's basically it. And then you have a twist over there. It does everything that you need to do. A very striking figure. Look at that. I think this is the way I'm going to display him. It looks very nice. Like it looks like he's basically wearing armor protected by his wings. So really cool. In terms of pricing and value, I feel like it's about basically equal. You're getting what you paid for. Definitely, I need to have him because he, like I said, he was part of the figures that I had when I was a kid. And they made such a vast improvement on his design with this wing mechanism that he has. It's $34, and that might seem kind of steep because he doesn't really have a lot of accessories. And that's the thing. I think it would have greatly helped a lot on the terms of in value if the Falcon, if there was a second Falcon that was attached where the wings were open and unhooded. Because as it is, the Falcon that I have, I've already tossed it somewhere here in the bags. I don't even have it here. It's just basically gonna stay in the accessories bags because there's no way to hold them. Like any one of these could have been used as a perch, and I really would have preferred that the Falcon was unhooded. It's really hard for me to assign a negative value on a figure below price. It takes quite a bit in order for that to happen, and usually when a value goes way below price or below price and it applies to a line, that's usually a line killer for me. Like when that happens, that's usually when I start wondering if I should continue purchasing a line or not. So in this case, I would settle at value at 10, price at 10, so equal value for the price that you're paying. Would it have been better if it had been like $29.99? Of course it could have been, but I feel like I got what my money's worth is with this figure. The only other thing I would have preferred that was improved was the helmet or the headdress, because as it is, this is gonna fall off a lot. It's gonna be very, very irritating, and eventually might even get lost. That's one of the things I would not like to happen. But that's basically it for my review. Thank you for watching. I have a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of figures that just came in. It's going to be very, very busy for the next 2 weeks or so. I'm probably going to have a video every day for the next week or so. And I just did a massive purchase buy of, well, massive for me, of a whole new line or a whole new scale, which I didn't really want to get into, but I was really, really impressed. Here's a hint. It's this person's fault. I liked it so much that I ended up going to the vintage collection, and I already have a 1/12 scale for Star Wars. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent again. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again soon, and have a nice night. Goodbye.